Antonio Brown in just a second, but first, couple plays from last night. Marquette Seton Hall, Miles Powell goes up for it, but Ed Morrow Jr. denies him.
Look at this.
That is denied.
Oh, yeah, that's in the first row. Go get it, young fella. You can't do a underhand scoop that close to the basket with a guy.
Great timing.
Check this out. LSU's Marlon Taylor skying for the alley-oop jam against Florida.
I thought this was a bad pass. Wow.
Good. Now that's embarrassing right there. Backdoor, catches an alley.
He lands on his
LSU's got a good basketball team too now.
Oh, yeah.
They could do some damage in March Madness.
All right, Cavs Nets. D'Angelo Russell broke out the sham god against your guy, Nick.
Jetty. My guy, Jetty Osman. See, you tweeted about this play, right? You sent out the video when it happened. Look.
Yes. Oh, no, I was watching this one. I love watching the Nets, man. They get up and down the court. They shoot threes, and he's such a great story there. Came out of Ohio State, should have stayed in school, drafted by the Lakers, couldn't develop. But last night, Brooklyn was saying, thank you, Magic Johnson. The crowd was yelling.
Maybe most improved player in the league.
Oh, yeah, he's going to win that award
this year. Wild play results in an incredible dunk by Zach LaVine.
Let me see this again. Oh, that's a great save. Now, you know he's going to go up and get it.
Pretty.
One of the best dunkers alive.
Pretty.
Is that Archie Diacono with the save?
People don't talk about it, but if you're a free agent, Chicago's got some nice young pieces. I know AD hadn't mentioned he's from Chicago, but
it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one.
All right, moving on to the Antonio Brown saga. It has become a saga. According to reports, the star wide receiver expects to be dealt by the end of this week. Despite AB seemingly bruising his trade value recently with a number of questionable comments, the yellow mustache notwithstanding, the Steelers are hoping to recoup a first-round pick in the deal. Washington, Oakland, Tennessee still in the mix for AB's services as well, with 3 mystery teams out there. C, in your opinion, the best fit for Antonio Brown is where?
Well, the best fit for him, if we're being honest, would be to repair the situation. Yes. Call Ben, have someone call Ben. Hey, man, hit my line. Let's get together. I'm sorry. That would be the best spot for him. Pittsburgh Steelers, because they are convinced this situation we can't salvage. But they're going to take a huge salary cap hit by trading him. Now, they're going to save the $2.5 million roster bonus, but that cap hit that they're going to take, can they put a championship team? So I just want to say that first. The best place for him is to stay in Pittsburgh with Ben Roethlisberger. But AB, blonde mustache, blue hair and everything, that's not going to happen. It's going to be, I believe the Oakland Raiders is the best spot, because they have the draft capital to be able to do it, especially at towards the end of that first round. And John Gruden needs a big-time playmaker. I believe that they can come up with enough creative things in that offense to be able to get AB the ball, because it's not only who needs a wide receiver, it's who can get him the football. You can't think that a guy that's had 6 straight 100-catch seasons is not going to want a football. So don't suggest some place where they can't get it to him from a creative standpoint, or from do they have a quarterback that can get the ball there to him. So I just believe that the Raiders, their lack of a wide receiver, they could basically take the pick that they got from Dallas.
Well, that's the key, right? Gruden also needs some good PR. Some good, to change the narrative a bit.
I just prefer some good football players.
Right, but you can't get good football until September. And so...
No, good football players.
Sure, and the point I'm making is, if the narrative is you essentially traded Amari Cooper for Antonio Brown, that's a win.
Sure.
That is a win for the Oakland Raiders. Now, Antonio Brown does not make a football team, and Antonio Brown could be going from Hall of Famer Big Ben to lame duck Derek Carr, or potentially rookie Kyler Murray. We don't know who the quarterback in Oakland would be. I think from the team's perspective, which team should be most aggressive in getting Antonio Brown? The Raiders is who I was going to say. From Antonio's perspective, that's obviously would not be first, second, or third on my list of preferred destinations.
I want to go to Green Bay.
Yes.
I want to go to Aaron Rodgers. They could utilize him. I believe they're going to get off of Randall Cobb in his contract. They can utilize him, give him a bonus. He's at a good number right now. Give him a little bit of a bonus because he's got a couple years left on his deal. That's what I would do. I'll probably give him about $8 to $10 million to sign, which adds another $5 million to his base salary. It's going to make him make around $18 million over the course of that time, and let's do business.
How important is the quarterback to Antonio Brown? He's so talented. Some would say, regardless, he's going to have those numbers. But how important, when you're thinking of a destination, is the quarterback on that team?
Well, I think for his purposes, it obviously is maybe the most important factor. Like, if he's listing his preferred destinations, who their quarterback is, do they have a stable quarterback? Do they have a good quarterback? Should be at, if not, certainly near, if not at the top of the list.
But let's look at the teams, because he's not making this choice. You have Washington, Oakland, and Tennessee as your top three. How comfortable are you guys with those offenses and those quarterbacks?
Well, but that's the problem, see, with
well, that's the problem when you force a trade.
Right.
He's not. And to me, most wide receivers, Larry Fitzgerald is a realist. Most wide receivers, they're like, man, I want to go right and get some guaranteed money. I want to go, they're going to throw it to me a whole bunch. A lot of wide receivers, they're ignorant like him. They're like, I don't care about the quarterback. I don't think, well, AB, him and his agent, they don't have any control, but I don't think he realizes how important the quarterback is. So I don't think he's thinking about quarterback, because if he was, he'd stay in Pittsburgh some type of way.
And maybe he's not, maybe he doesn't have the quarterback situation ranked as high as I would think he should, because one of his initial preferred destinations was San Francisco, and nobody knows if they have a great quarterback or even a good quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo is one of the biggest unknowns in football. We know that they think they have their franchise quarterback, and they paid him accordingly, but Washington has the most unknown quarterback situation in all of football. Tennessee is a guy who in year 2 looked like he was going to become the player he was drafted out of Oregon to be, and then was bad in year 3 and was injured and mediocre in year 4. And Oakland, we just mentioned, like, I'm not certain Derek Carr is going to be their quarterback next year, and if he's not, it's going to be a rookie.
I think Derek Carr is a lot better than Mariota.
Sure.
So in Oakland, I believe he's a better situation throwing the ball down the field and consistency throwing the ball. In Tennessee, they're a running team. You watch Tennessee play, man, they're getting ready to run the ball. They have a bust at wide receiver in Davis from a couple years ago. He hadn't reached his potential. So, I mean, that would be a tough situation for AB. Like, I mean, he would go from one of the most prolific offenses, the most creative offenses, to one of the most predictable offenses.
The team you mentioned, though, which is also the team that I had written down as with the square hole, square peg situation, is Green Bay. They have an extra first-round pick. They have a great quarterback. They have a new head coach. You have a maybe frustrated Aaron Rodgers. They might move off Randall Cobb.
Well, we did say there are a couple of mystery teams.
Right,
that could be one of them.
For all those reasons, Green Bay to me is the perfect situation.
The thing about Green Bay is they don't have the culture. Their fan base, the people who see them on a weekly basis, like, you think they want one of their players rolling up in a green Bentley, Rolls Royce? You think they want him some Black Hawk helicopter? No, so yeah, like from a football standpoint, but who they're selling to, their season ticket base, like in that little tri-state area,
sure,
he doesn't fit that. And that's a problem in Green Bay. Look at the type of players that have ever been like Antonio that were in Green Bay. Andre Bad Moon Rising, after he turned over, all right, he wasn't a problem. Typically, those type of players aren't attracted to Green Bay, and Green Bay and the organization have not been attracted to them.
And the fact that you have to go all the way back to Andre Rison, because I was trying to think since then, who is like the alleged problem child Green Bay's gone out and gotten? And I can't think of one.
I played against Green Bay for a long time, twice a year. That's just not something that they do, and I don't believe this player is going to change that.
And their biggest free agent acquisitions of the last generation are guys that not only great players, but really good people. Charles Woodson, Julius Peppers, guys that have none of those concerns.
Yeah, you got to factor in the quarterback and also the coach, and also how his personality, like you mentioned, fits in with the culture of the actual team. Take a break. Coming up, could the Cowboys defense hold them back from the Super Bowl next season? That's next on First Things First.